Good morning. I'm getting ready to catch a plane, so.
What do you think
Senator Obama will be a better transitional president than potentially Senator McCain?
I think that Senator Obama brings a fresh set of eyes, fresh set of ideas to the table. I think that Senator McCain, as gifted as he is essentially going to execute the Republican agenda, the orthodoxy of the Republican agenda, with a new face and with a maverick approach to it. And he'd be quite good at it. But I think we need more than that. I think we need a generational change. And I think Senator Obama has captured the feelings of the young people of America and is reaching out in a more diverse, inclusive way across our society.
Could you talk to us about when your decision was made final? When did you finally set your heart on Senator Obama?
I have been watching, as I said in there, for a long time. And then within the past couple of months, I really said, you just can't keep watching. You got to kind of settle down. And frankly, it was in the period leading up to the conventions and then the decisions that came out of the conventions, and then just sort of watching the responses of the two individuals on the economic crisis give me an opportunity to evaluate their judgment, to evaluate their way of approaching a problem, to evaluate the steadiness of their actions. And it was at that point that I realized that, in my mind anyway, that Senator Obama has demonstrated the kind of calm, patient, intellectual, steady approach to problem solving that I think we need in this country.
Mr. Secretary, there were a number of chinks in your own armor, actually, because of the lead up to the Iraq War and the events. How much did that play into your decision about this, and won't it be taken perhaps by some, because of your previous high-profile positions, won't it be taken by some as a repudiation of the Iraq War?
I don't know why. The Iraq War is the Iraq War. We now see that things are a lot better in Iraq. Maybe if we had put a surge in at the beginning, it would have been a lot better years ago. But it's a lot better now, and we can see ahead to where the U.S. forces will start to come out. And so my concern was not my past or what happened in Iraq, but where we're going in the future. My sole concern was where we're going after January 20th of 2009, not what happened in 2003. I'm well aware of the role I played. My role has been very, very straightforward. I wanted to avoid a war. The President agreed with me. We tried to do that. We couldn't get it through the UN. And when the President made the decision, I supported that decision. And I've never blinked from that. I've never said I didn't support the decision to go to war. And the war looked great until the 9th of April when the statue fell. Everybody thought it was terrific, and it was terrific. The troops had done a great job. But then we failed to understand that the war really was not over, that a new phase of the war was beginning, and we weren't ready for it, and we didn't respond to it well enough, and things went very, 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 very south, very bad. And now it's starting to turn around through the work of General Petraeus and the troops, through the work of the Iraqi government, through our diplomatic efforts, and I hope now that this war will be brought to an end, at least as far as American involvement is concerned, and the Iraqis are going to have to be responsible for their own security and for their own political future.
Sir,
one more than I do have to go.
Did McCain's negativity play in your decision in the negative tone of the campaign?
It troubled me. We have two wars. We have economic problems. We have health problems. We have education problems. We have infrastructure problems. We have problems around the world with our allies. And so those are the problems the American people wanted to hear about, not about Mr. Ayers, not about who is a Muslim and who's not a Muslim. Those kinds of images going out in Al Jazeera are killing us around the world. And we have got to say to the world, doesn't make any difference who you are or what you are. If you're an American, you're an American. And this business of, for example, a congressman from Minnesota who's going around saying, let's examine all congressmen to see who is pro-America or not pro-America. We have got to stop this kind of nonsense, pull ourselves together, and remember that our great strength is in our unity and in our diversity. And so that really was driving me. And to focus on people like Mr. Ayers, these trivial issues, for the purpose of suggesting that somehow Mr. Obama would have some kind of terrorist inclinations, I thought that was over the top. That was beyond just good political fighting back and forth. I think it went beyond. And then to sort of throw in this little Muslim connection. You know, he's a Muslim and, my gosh, he's a terrorist. And it was taking root. And we can't judge our people, and we can't hold our elections on that kind of basis. And so, yes, that kind of negativity troubled me. And the constant shifting of the argument. I was troubled a couple of weeks ago when, in the middle of the crisis, the campaign said, we're going to go negative. And they announced it. We're going to go negative and attack his character through Bill Ayers. And now I guess the message this week is we're going to call him a socialist. Mr. Obama is now a socialist because he dares to suggest that maybe we ought to look at the tax structure that we have. Taxes are always a redistribution of money. Most of the taxes that are redistributed go back to those who pay them in roads and airports and hospitals and schools. And taxes are necessary for the common good. And there's nothing wrong with examining what our tax structure is, or who should be paying more, who should be paying less. And for us to say that that makes you a socialist, I think is an unfortunate characterization that isn't accurate. And I don't want my taxes raised. I don't want anybody else's taxes raised. But I also want to see our infrastructure fixed. I don't want to have a $12 trillion national debt, and I don't want to see an annual deficit that's over $500 billion heading toward $1 trillion. So how do we deal with all of this?